Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome around the globe to Kangen Water Radio, featuring the Kangen Water Health and Information International Call, where we consider, clarify, and often correct the conventional wisdom around Kangen water technology, the different machines, the science behind water types, uses, and benefits, the testing process, the maintenance and cleaning of the machines, and much, much more. We also explore a plethora of other topics as we teach, promote, and discuss the three-pronged approach to health and wellness, hydration, detoxification, and complete macro and micro nutrition. I'm family physician Dr. Lisa Battle Singletary, now retired, your trusted health navigator, and if need be, your virtual keto coach. And I'll be joined by my co-host and fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, a Magic 6A distributor extraordinaire, and together we bring you the best of both worlds. This is call number 435. I can hardly believe it. And it is Wednesday, 10/20/2021, October 20th. And we're talking about lemons today. I started to call this, my first thought was, of course, when life gives you lemons, celebrate. No, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And then I thought about lemons being multifunctional. So talking about the multifunctional lemons, but it's not just that they're multifunctional, they're multitaskers. So that's where we came up with today's title, Lemons, the Multitasker. So, they do so much. And so I'm going to share some of that with you. I've got a couple of great articles to share as well. And since we're talking about the task, the work, lemons being such a workhorse, I've got articles of 3 different types. So I want to share some of just what they do around the house, because there's so many household uses for lemons, definitely that I didn't think of. And let's see, I want to share the health benefits of lemons. And so we're going to PubMed for some of this scientific reviews, as well as a couple of articles on the popular press that are very, very practical for us. So we can turn this information into something we can use day to day. All right. I feel like I'm missing something, but I think what I had on my mind was figuring out exactly when the clocks turn back. And it's not in my mind, but I think I haven't confirmed it, but I think it's the second Sunday in November. So we're getting ready to have an international shift in time zones. We already are noticing, right, the change in the light, the change in the sunrise and sunset, and then that's the big change when we do the time zone. So just thinking about that, and how I'm fascinated that different countries shift their time zones at different times. There's some places in the United States that never change their time zone. It all fascinates me. But we've got an expert on the call for translating time zones around the globe, Mr. Terrence Hope, our fearless leader. We'll bring him onto the call in a bit. But first, I want to share with you some information about lemons. Now, we've talked about lemons on this call before. In fact, I pulled up the call topics list. And hopefully you can see my screen, but This was call number 276. And we posited the questions: lemons, acidic or alkaline? And we were really talking about, I mean, we know they're acidic, right? But their effect on the body, because there are a lot of books about alkalizing the body. Now, we explain that, and I'm going to leave that to Mr. Hope right for today. But when you read books about alkalizing the body, very often they include lemons as one of the strategies. So we took a deep dive into the effects of lemons on the pH of the blood. And usually, this is my conjecture, usually when people say they want to change the pH of the body or alkalize the body, they're really talking about the blood. They better be really talking about the blood, because as Mr. Hope will show us, there are acidic parts of the body as well. So, but let's look at our multitasker, the lemon. So I'm going to just go back to my my screen, and I just Googled uses of lemon, and there was a multitudinous number of catalogs of things that you can do with lemons. Here's one: 17 household uses for lemons to save money on cleaning, refreshing cutting boards, deterring insects, cleaning glass, removing stains. It's household, so they probably don't have the beauty aspects of it, but you can use lemon in your hair, you can use lemon on your skin. Eatthis.com has 20 uses for lemons you haven't heard before. 20 amazing things you can use with lemons. I mean, and even within that article, it's 15 ways to lose weight with lemons. So they do in this article include using lemons on your skin, scrubs, etc. There's the hair one: lighten your locks, removing unwanted hair. I don't know how homemade body wax. Okay. Lots of good stuff there. But I wanted to focus on the health benefits of lemons. So Healthline does have an article, but let me tell you why really what sparked me today to talk about lemons, because in medical news today, there was an article, it was just published on the 18th of this month. So this is like the most recent article, and it just flashed just flashed in the last 48 hours about lemons. So this was particularly looking at the health benefits of boiling lemons. So they're very cautious in their articles. They do say that evidence is anecdotal, but that consuming boiled lemons can boost immunity, improve the skin, and even help people lose weight. Okay. However, scientific studies into the nutritional values and health benefits of boiled lemons specifically are scarce. Now, I will show you some of the studies on. Now, some of the studies don't isolate lemons. Some of them talk about citrus flavonoids, but lemons certainly are citrus. So where we can isolate lemons in the research, we have. But I'm going to show you the studies on citrus as well. Lemons high naturally in vitamin C and other vitamins and minerals. So here's the controversy about boiling. Boiling them may actually reduce the amount of nutrients. So this article is particularly looking at the benefits of boiled lemons, or boiled mixed of lemons when boiled or when mixed with boiled water. So possible health benefits: again, skin, antioxidants in the lemons, and we will see some of the antioxidant studies on pubmed.gov. Some stimulation of collagen, possibly, lowering blood pressure, boosting immunity. Of course, our immune systems are in the news every day. And of course, we have the three-pronged approach to help us to, we don't say boost. We don't make any claims, no health claims at all. But we can nourish and support our immune systems, our entire bodies, really, with the three-pronged approach: hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. Aiding weight loss, improving digestion, and some practical ideas how to get boiled lemons into the diet. 3 methods: nutrition content, and boiled versus raw lemons. So this is a great article, lots of practical value. Healthline has an article, 6 evidence-based health benefits of lemon. And again, when they say evidence-based, they mean there have been research studies done and reported, and these articles can be found on pubmed.gov as well. Now, this article is written in 2019. So, and you know, we're spoiled. When I was in medical school and we had to go into the stacks and research journals, I mean, we might have to go back 15 years or 20, to get the information we're looking for. But we like to keep it. I keep my reviews like within 5 years. So this is within a great time frame, 2019. But we have another paradigm, I guess, for dating articles, which is the articles that were researched and published before January of 2020 and after January 2020. So worldwide events do affect what we're looking for in some of our research, but some things don't change. So the 6 evidence-based health benefits of lemons. Here, let me see if I can get rid of that. Okay, here we go. Supports heart health. Lemons are a good source of vitamin C. And vitamin C is one of the essential vitamins, meaning our bodies need them and our bodies cannot produce them. And, you know, Mr. Hope talks about the animals in the wild all the time being so healthy. And yes, they're healthy because of their diets, but also they're healthy because those animals in the wild produce tremendous amounts of vitamin C. And so they have antioxidants boosting their oxidative stress, whether it's internal or external. They have antioxidant power up the wazoo. Now, we do make some antioxidants, and of course we would, because if oxidative stress is part of our metabolic byproducts, our mitochondria, when they do certain processes, they increase oxidative stress. When we exercise, we increase oxidative stress. These are normal, expected, or what we would call physiological levels of oxidative stress. And the body has antioxidants such as superoxide dismutase, glutathione, these antioxidant compounds or antioxidant systems that are designed to carry, to balance the normal oxidative stress that occurs in the body. But when you factor in internal stresses such as our diet, eating things that we just were not designed to consume, the stress of not getting enough sleep, the stress of worry, All of these things increase oxidative stress in our bodies exponentially, as well as external sources of oxidative stress, electromagnetic radiation, pollution, whether that's noise pollution, toxins, toxins in our air, in our clothing, just you name it. We are exposed to so many things that create oxidative stress in the body that the body needs some help sometimes, all the time. So when we can increase our intake of antioxidants, then doesn't it make sense that the body is better off? Because we're balancing out those stressors, that chronic inflammation and a chronic oxidative stress that we expose ourselves to, and that will eventually cause disease if not balanced out. Okay, back to vitamin C. So one lemon provides about 31 milligrams of vitamin C, which is 51% of the RDI, reference daily intake. Now, this, I would be impressed. 51% of anything, right, should with one lemon should be impressive. But when they talk about this daily intake, they are talking about the minimum that you absolutely must have in order to avoid disease. They're not talking about the optimum, right? So don't think, okay, I squeezed a lemon, I'm good, right? We've got to do a lot of different things to get all of our antioxidants up to where they're going to be able to counteract the oxidative stress we're exposed to. Okay. But still, for a lemon, 51%, okay, I have to give it kudos. It's pretty good. Research shows eating fruits and vegetables rich in vitamin C reduces your risk of heart disease and stroke. However, and can we connect the dots there, that we are decreasing inflammation and we're decreasing oxidative stress, so our blood vessels don't get damaged by that chronic inflammation. I think we can connect those dots. However, it's not only vitamin C that is thought to be good for your heart. The fiber and plant compounds in lemons could also significantly lower some risk factors for heart disease. Okay. Help control weight. Lemons are often promoted as a weight loss food. There are a few theories as why. Number 3, preventing kidney stones. Kidney stones are small lumps that form when waste products crystallize, very often because you're not adequately hydrated, right, and detoxified. So citric acid may help prevent the kidney stones by changing the pH of the urine, and probably multiple ways that it affects that, or that it causes that there it is, a less favorable environment for kidney stone formation. Just stick with hydration, detoxification, complete nutrition. It'll take you a long way. Protecting against anemia. Iron deficiency. Remember, when you do take iron, very often, and it should be recommended that you take it with vitamin C. So it's about not what you take in, but what you absorb. Reducing cancer risk. Okay. You can take this word cancer, right? And you can put any disease in there. Now, we don't talk about diseases, but we're talking about the underlying cause of diseases. And if you can reduce oxidative stress and chronic inflammation, well, you are reducing the underlying cause of 90+% of diseases in the human. Improved digestive health. Lemons have soluble fiber, simple sugars, pectin. So your digestive health is improved with lemons. Now, one thing I like about Healthline articles is, oh, sorry, I didn't like that. Okay. Sorry, I didn't catch that earlier. I like about Healthline because after it gives you the bottom line of the article, it also gives you other articles that are related. So 5 ways your body benefits from lemon water. And then Lemons 101, nutrition facts and health benefits. So you can keep, and I haven't clicked any of the links, but if you keep clicking the links in a Healthline article, you can spend a long time doing some great research. Okay, just a peek at PubMed. So this is what I search on PubMed: citrus and health review. And I set my parameters for review articles in the last 5 years. So let's look at a couple of titles: fruit and vegetable intake and mental health in adults, a systematic review. Awesome. The role of a properly balanced diet in prevention and treatment of mental disorders has been suggested. While vegetables and fruits have a high content of nutrients that may be of importance in the case of depressive disorder. So they look at all the research and they come up with an opinion. Fruit and vegetable intake in cardiovascular disease, cancer, and all-cause mortality. And this is getting more at the picture. Like, we don't even have to deal with diseases, names, meaning, when I say that, I mean names. You could put any itis, any osis. If you're taking care of the underlying cause, then you're going to have a benefit in the outcomes of health. Let's see. The benefits of citroflavonoids on cardiovascular and mental health. Flavonones, citrus phytochemicals with health promoting properties. So all of these are reviews of multiple research results, research studies that have been published. So we're not just looking at one little study with a few people. We're looking at, the reviewers are looking at all of the studies in a certain category or on a certain topic and coming to the conclusions. And I haven't seen one yet that denies that lemons in particular, but citrus I haven't seen one that denies that citrus is good for your health. So all of those articles will be in the show notes that are, when you go to, if you want to go to the replay, you'll go to YouTube and search Kangen Water Radio, and you'll see our playlist, and just click on the playlist. And when you click on the video, today's video or any of our videos, in the description box, I include all of our all of our call resources and the particular articles that we looked at for each individual call. Also, there are links there on how to contact us and how to find out what your body needs as far as nutritional needs. We know we need hydration, detoxification, and complete macro and micronutrition. But what is complete for you? If you live in one state, then your nutritional needs will be different than someone who lives in a different area or a different state. So we can help you with that, there's a link in the show notes. Alrighty, so that's it. Lemons, our wonderful multitasker. Well, we've got another multitasker that we are going to bring to the call right now. Our fearless leader, Kangen Water 6A or Enagic 6A distributor extraordinaire, the vigilant, persistent, and consistent health influencer and health advocate to the stars and to the globe, and fortunately to us. I could do that. Okay, so we are going to have a little delay in bringing our Mr. Hope to the call. So here's your chance. We're going to open up the call to some questions. So if you have any questions or comments, you can type them into the chat. I just opened up the chat so I can actually read it. And also you can raise your hand, or if you turn on your camera, you can wave. Let me get back to the front of the call. So any questions or comments that you have, we will welcome you to bring them either, like I said, and type them into the chat. Raise your hand. How do you do that? You go to reactions, I think, in the Zoom, and you will be able to give us your question or comment. Now, Angie has unmuted. Angie, do you have a question or comment today? Oh, she muted back. All righty. So I'm looking, I don't see any questions or comments. So we will show you, while we're waiting for Mr. Hope to get here, I'm going to show you exactly how to find the call information. Now I'm going to use a prior call because I haven't done it for this call yet. But if we go to let's see. Let's go to Kangen Water Radio. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to go to YouTube. Sorry. Now, I'm just going to make sure you can see my YouTube. There we go. And if we search Kangen Water Radio, then right at the top is the Kangen Water Radio playlist. And you don't even have to click on the playlist, but a lot of our videos will come up. Now, other videos will come up as well. So if you want to, I usually click on the playlist myself. But if you click on any of these, videos, and you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see under the title of the channel, you'll see the information from the show. This is called the description box. And if you click on this, show more, then you can see all of the articles from this episode, as well as what we call our call resources, including our good food, bad food list, including the entire Kangen Water Radio topics list, as well as when we were on freeconferencecall.com, we were just on the phone with the call. We didn't have the video component, but we have over 400 calls here. Well, 435. Today makes 435. about, well, over 50 of those calls are on YouTube as with the video component, but you've got an entire catalog of calls available to you. And that catalog is right here, complete Kangen water health and information call topics list. So that first call that we did about lemons was an audio call. So, but when you get to that call topics list, anything that's in blue is linked. So you have one-click access to that information. So I just love that. All right, let me take a peek. Any questions or comments as we anticipate our fearless leader coming into the call? All right, so why don't you, or not why don't you, I was thinking today that maybe some of you would have some interesting uses of lemons that you have discovered or that have been transmitted in your family, or that you've read about or that you've stumbled upon, that you want to share with us. For instance, how many times have you found lemons to absolutely transform a dish that you're cooking? And I mean, cooking is kind of my thing. And so I was thinking about lemon zest and how lemon zest is so powerful as far as taste, smell, the essential oils that are in the zest. But it was a long time before I knew really what lemon zest was. And when I mean by that, there's a difference between the skin of the lemon and the zest of the lemon. So the skin of the lemon includes the outer yellow portion that has the oils and the flavor and all the exciting stuff, and the white portion just under that yellow portion that's called the pith. So the pith is not as desirable as the skin because it becomes bitter under certain circumstances. Now, lately, I've seen some recipes that, for different applications and for different uses, that say to include the skin of the lemon or the lime or the grapefruit or whatever they're putting in the recipe into into steep or to boil, but they're not clear about whether they're talking about the whole skin of the lemon or just the zest of the lemon. So I haven't completely been able to answer that question for myself in researching those recipes or those home remedies. But wow, there's so much you can do with lemons. And the lemons, I mean, I just had so much fun today thinking about the different cuisines that are heavily lemon based. And of course, that depends on where you are in the world. There's some people that have lemon trees in their backyards. So of course, they're going to have lemon, or they have the luxury of having lemon based soups, sauces, using lemon juice on a salad, using lemon juice. Just there's so many ways to use it. So I was just, so if you do have an interesting use of lemon, let me adjust my chat here so I can see everyone. We would love for you to type that in. Now, It is possible. Let's not get our hopes up too high, but it's possible that we have available to us our fearless leader, the multitasker, Mr. Terrence Hope, Enagic 6A distributor extraordinaire. Mr. Hope, are you with us, sir? Okay, your mouth is moving. There we go.
So indeed. Yeah. So indeed, I am with you as well, and very glad to be here, and so glad we have so many people from around the world on our Kangen water call today. As I sip some of my health beverages and drink a little of my water that I keep on the side here. Of course, Kangen water filled at all times, so we can all stay hydrated. So glad to be here. Glad to hear the story about lemons. Glad to hear we're all talking about good recipes and one of the things are best for our health and intake. Here on the Kangen Water Health and Information Call, we want to make sure that you understand what Kangen is, how it works properly within the body, and really how to use it. Many people have owned Kangen water machines, but have not thoroughly understood them. So we try to make that give you a clarity on that here on the Kangen Water Health and Information Call. And as well, we are very fortunate to have Dr. Lisa Singletary on board with us as a board certified physician who lends her time to understand the full disease, the power of works, the using of
okay, so you're having some
to
connectivity issues.
our health
I hear.
disease, and many things. By the way,
okay, it's very, very difficult to hear you.
So,
and I know that
it may have been
video improves your connectivity, and I see you did that, but we'll give it another try. So I'm gonna step back, but yeah, it was really, really choppy. So let me unpin and
right. So yeah, go. I think I'll be able to remedy that. All right, sure. Let's try again. So let me cancel that. So you all can hear me clearly now?
Much better, much better.
Much better. Much better. Okay. And I was making an effort to look at one of my slides. Let me make sure that will work fine. Let me double check my sharing mechanism. Let's see. It looks like I might need to get a share control because I don't have that control to share, which is interesting.
See, listen.
Unless you've got my slides on that side. And I'll bring that up. But oh, praise the Lord. So Kangen water has been referred to traditionally as an alkaline water. And there's more than one way than that water can be made alkaline. You can take minerals and dump them in the water. That'll make it alkaline, but it won't make it antioxidant. You can hit it with electricity. That will produce antioxidant ions and molecules along with alkaline molecules, making the water alkaline. And that will make the stark difference. So Kangen water is produced in a process where electricity comes in direct contact with water. Kangen water is produced in a process where electricity comes in direct contact with water. And when you hit water with electricity, it then becomes antioxidant and it can detox your body. Yeah. If you buy water in the store and it says alkaline water, that water will not detox you. It does not have an antioxidant effect. As a matter of fact, it can cause more toxic buildup as your body. Got it. And unmute myself. Right. It can cause more toxic buildup as your body absorbs more calcium in a non-bioavailable form that will, well, anyway, it'll cause problems in the body. So let me just bring my slide up one more time over here. And we're using some new computer systems this week, at least I am. And the computer systems are not being as user-friendly as they usually are in our daily casts. So, so now, Kangen water, like I said, is an antioxidant water. So differences between water and otherwise alkaline. Body is not, some organs in your body are acidic. Other organs in the body are alkaline. Some organs in the body range from to alkaline. So body being regulated, we just need to have proper nutrition and be able to limit toxicity so that our body can properly balance. The stomach is sick, while the heart is alkaline. It's a lot of range from an acidic range, depending on the state at the time. The large intestine, the small, makes it more the acidic range. Yeah, the heart, the bloodstream, that's it's on the alkaline range. Yeah. So if someone says to you, body alkaline, drink alkaline water, eat alkaline foods, and then you'll be healthy, it would actually be inaccurate, because your body is not swayed by every pH of every food type that you eat. It's for that reason that we all know we can eat lemons from more the acidic side, right? Oranges, fruits. We can eat things that have an acidic pH. Tomatoes have more an acidic pH, right? So it's not per the foods that you're eating. It's per the body, the nutrient. On the other side of the spectrum, we might eat apples, that type of thing. Yeah. But the pH of the food does not dictate the pH of our bodies. So it's the big take home that I look to provide here on the Kangen Water Health Information Call, that what Kangen water actually does is to detox the body. And the body, once detoxed, is able to maintain its own internal pH. That's the key of how our water functions. So when you look at your machine, many of you have Kangen water machines already or are looking to get them. There are some of my slides. Dr. Singletary was able to find some for me. Thank you. So there are different settings on the machine. You have an 8.5, you have a 9.0, you have a 9.5 pH. And that's that slide that there a moment ago with the SD5 example I can use to go over that kind of information. So what does that mean? The 8.5, the 9.0, the 9.5, yeah? On this slide right here, you see there's the Kangen water machine known as the SD501. And the SD501 is showing a series of settings. The top three are the Kangen water settings at the 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5 settings on the machine. Those settings refer to the strength of the antioxidant effect when you drink the water, yeah? So if I say that our water is alkaline, I'm only referring to the alkaline molecules produced in electrically processed water that represent the overall volume of antioxidant molecules at a time. So with our water, the alkaline molecules are only a measuring tool of the overall volume of antioxidant molecules in the water at a time. So I can say, if I have this many 8.5 molecules, right, alkaline molecules, I have this many antioxidant molecules at the same time. So 8.5 represents a smaller volume of antioxidant molecules. 9.0 represents a mid-range. 9.5 represents our highest range. So you'll have a mild detox at 8.5, a mid-range detox at 9.0, and a very strong detox at 9.5, yeah? So we want to be careful knowing this, what level of water we're giving a person. So everybody starts drinking the Kangen water at the 8.5 pH level. Why? Because we never know what your toxic load might be. And we don't want to overwhelm your body in its process of looking to remove toxicity. So we can't go over 8.5. And I usually recommend when you first get your machine, or if you share your water with a friend, to only give them the 8.5 and drink that exclusively for the first 30 days. I want to make sure we're not overwhelming a person as we're detoxing them. And the 8.5 is a mild detox. 9.0, after the first 30 days, you can go up to that. 9.5 is then the highest level. The highest level, you know, very good for athletes, very good once you've gone through an orientation of detoxification with the Kangen water so that your body has removed a high load of toxins. Listen, from the time we're children, we're taking in a lot of junk foods. We're taking a lot of processed foods that are really not designed for consumption, but are more akin to a profit-making tool for the manufacturers who make them. All these candies and junk foods and all this kind of a thing. So a lot of toxicity can build up in the body over time. When we begin on a detoxification regimen, we want to remove that toxicity mildly, not so much that we overwhelm the body in trying to get rid of it, but just enough that the body can handle the process of removing toxicity over a slow period of time and getting you back to balance. Now, I want to move forward to my slide where we've got pH ranges, and I've got a little slide of the body frame. So I'm going to skip ahead of some of my traditional slides and get it's a slide where we show the pH ranges of the body, and we just remind you that, you know, the body is self-balancing and self-regulating. Yeah. So as we look at this slide here, we want to remember that your body will maintain its own pH on its own. And there's no great thought process that you have to go through in order to do that. What you're looking for your body to be is toxic free. And that means we're not taking in a lot of junk foods. What you're looking is for your body to be properly hydrated. Yeah. So as we look at this slide I've got here, it's showing the pH values of the human body. Yeah. And it's all kind of different ranges. Now, pH is a term that refers to the power of hydrogen, or the volume of hydrogen in the water at a time. Yes. So it's measured in a scale that goes from 0 to 14. 0 to 14. Half of 14 is 7. Yeah. Half of 14 is 7. So anything on the scale below a 7 is considered to be acidic. Yes. Anything on that scale above a 7, from 7 to 14, is considered to be basic or alkaline. So some organs in your body are more basic or alkaline. Some organs in your body are more acidic. Yeah. So the body will regulate it on its own. As long as you have proper organic food coming into your body, you have a minimized toxic load coming in, and the body knows how to remove waste. Yes, it needs proper hydration. And that's where Kangen water comes into the picture. I'm going to go back to my little lightning strike back there that everybody seems to like so much. As I just skip around just slightly in my slides. So, you know, we are producing this water in an electrical process where electricity hits the water. And I'm just kind of reiterating this with some of the images we have here. Yeah. So that's a nice one to use. So we hit the water with electricity. Yeah. And when we hit water with electricity, it produces a reaction in the water molecule. Yeah. So the water molecule you see there is H2O, H2O water molecule. Wow, there's actually lightning in that audio. I didn't ever know that was there, unless I was given a little treat by Dr. Singletary. So we hit the water with electricity with a lightning strike, and it takes the water molecule, which is H2O, seen on the right, and divides that into two segments. This is what happens when electricity hits water, or when water is hit by electricity. It breaks it down into two segments. In the next slide, you'll see just the full diagram and the pathway of what happens in this process. Yeah. So in the far left corner, we have an H2O water molecule model, right? Above it, we're being hit by lightning. To the right above, we're seeing that division of the water molecule H2O being broken down into its elements. H2O breaks down to OH and H, which is H2O. OH negative is the one molecule, and a hydrogen atom is the other. And the OH negative molecule is what we come up with. This is the measuring tool that we use, so we know what the strength of the water is. So I just want you to see this little model, what that looks like. On the far right, we've got now a structure of the water molecules with this alkaline molecule. And just imagine there are other antioxidant molecules within the water at a time. Next slide will show what happens in the full process, just to give you an inside look of what we're talking about as we go forward a little more. And we look at the Kangen water, yeah? So what is Kangen water? Kangen water is electrolyzed reduced water. Electrolyzed reduced water, that's the science term that to look up to learn what Kangen water is all about. It is a water produced in a process known as electricity. We'll go to the next slide, it's okay. And it's a process. We'll skip forward a few more just so we go, and I'll find where to pause. You know, in a process, you know, known as electrolysis. Your body is self-healing, yeah? Think about it from the surface of your skin down to the depths of your bones. You know, you get a scratch in your finger, your hand, or you get a crack or a fracture in the bones or a break, you simply put a bandage on it. In the case of a break, you put a large cast bandage to keep it still, so that as it heals itself, it heals evenly, yeah? So we're not doing anything else magical going on here. No magic pill, as they say to us at the doctor's office, take this pill and see me tomorrow. The body is self-healing. The body is self-regulating. You give it what it needs, as Dr. Singletary reiterates again and again, and it will take care of itself. With our Kangen water, what does that term mean for our company in Japan? It actually means a return to origin, bringing your body back to its original state where it can be self-healing, maintain its self-regulating regulations, and keep itself properly healthy. So just a little overview with some of the items here. Your body is mostly water. The kind of water you put in the body will dictate its cell function, and you can do that well with our antioxidant, electrolyzed reduced Kangen water. So I definitely take some questions right now before we head out of the call. There are many new people on the call. I see many people from the UK. I see some people from Africa. I see many people around the world. Please come on board right now. Ask us your questions. We'll take your questions. You can unmute yourself as well, and we will entertain your questions to the forum. And that's a good way, really, for many people to learn more about Kangen water through your questions, things that we did not bring up during the call, you might have in mind, and we can be a benefit to all. There's a way you can go to the resources. I believe that's under the chat, that allows you to wave your hand so we can see that you've got a question. You could unmute yourself and begin speaking. We'll take your question. I'm sure there's much you need to know about Kangen water, having had machines or looking to purchase. Dr. Singletary?
I did love what you said, Mr. Hope, today in your comment. You your wordsmithery never disappoints. And today you came up with orientation of detoxification. And we do talk about that, giving your body a gentle period of detoxing, especially. And yes, we can definitely say that should be done hands down with people who are overweight, because we know that toxins that the body doesn't know what to do with, and that's more and more in our environment, or doesn't have the enzymes to deal with, they will take those toxins and stuff them into a fatty cell, whether it's a fatty liver cell, and then if the liver gets overwhelmed, fatty cells, or what we call adipose tissue, all over the body. And so when you embark upon a detox journey, if you do that too quickly and you force those fatty cells to release the toxins that they have stored, as you said, for decades, then that can overwhelm the body's elimination ability. And so now we've got these newly released toxins free floating in the bloodstream, and wherever they land, they can cause problems. So getting in, having an orientation period for your detoxification is a really good concept, because even if you don't understand or believe, we've had so much propaganda about driving to 9.5 and getting to 9.5 as quickly as possible. So, if you just have that implanted thought that you need an orientation period, or I love that, the orientation of detoxification. That's a good concept to expand upon, I think, and explore, and to include in our lexicon. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Singletary. Thank you so much. And I would definitely like to get some questions from our field. When you give a comment on our call, when you ask a question, it's a call. Sometimes we don't go over every piece of subject matter, and something that may have come to mind that you have a question about, that enables us to ask a question outside of our box, essentially. And but it's something that we can cover. We may have covered it on other calls, but we can certainly cover it today with you as well, and look to be a resource to you. So please, if you have a question, raise your hand, use our chat box. We'll see your questions, we'll see your comments, and we will bring you into the call with that question.
Okay, so you might see reactions at the bottom of your screen. If you click on reactions, raising your hand might be there. Or you can turn on your video and just wave at us. Now we have we have two people unmuted. Area code 216, ending in 5238. Did you have a question?
Right, if you got a question, come on board. You can just start speaking. We'll hear your question and bring you into the call. Happy to take your question. And So, vital piece of information, and so when we talk about detoxification with the Kangen water machines, we're also looking at your body type. Hi, I see someone there waving. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. We'll take your question. Hi. There you are.
Thank you.
I'm having technical difficulties.
We hear you now. There you are. We hear you now.
Can you hear
Good
me?
evening, all.
Okay, now we have two people.
My name is
Hello?
Ada.
That's
Okay,
fine.
hold on.
I'm calling from London.
We hear you fine.
I'm a Biafran. I'm calling from London.
Welcome to the call.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody.
All right, from London.
I have been taking Kangen water now through Angie, one of our colleagues. And I just want to know, can Kangen water help people with fibroid? Because I have a neighbor who has got fibroid, and also my sister has got, although they've had operation, but can Kangen water help them to flush the fibroid out? Although my neighbor is taking the Kangen water, but she has stopped for a while now, but I've been giving her some to take. Thank you.
So
Right. So there's a couple. Right. So there's a couple. I'm sorry, Dr. Singer.
well, I think we were going to say the same thing, that the principles of detoxification and decreasing antioxidants and decreasing chronic inflammation, which now is in the muscular tissues of the uterus. That's what fibroids are. and causing that overgrowth, it certainly gets to the underlying problem, but it can take time. To once there's a physical change in the muscle tissue, it could take time. But when we look at, like I said, the underlying cause, where did the fibroids come from, or from whence did the fibroids come? It's from inflammation and oxidative stress. And so we're cutting down that underlying cause. Definitely there can be hormonal issues as well. They are multifactorial, and I definitely, as I gave the prior disclaimer, we don't really talk about diseases and individual physical ailments, but we talk about the underlying cause. But once there is like I said, once there's a physical change, it takes longer for the body to deal with those factors, those physical factors, but the body has the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm. And, as Dr. Singletary is saying, we don't make any medical claims on the call, as NAGIC does not allow us to do that. And we look to stay within the policy. Now, at the same time, the body has a core function. And what you want to make sure we're looking at is the core of giving it what it needs to fill that function. What is the body's function? It's self-regulating, it's self-healing, yeah? So what we're doing with things like Kangen water as an electrolyzed reduced water is we're removing toxicity from the body. The Kangen water will remove toxicity. In a toxic-free environment, the body is better able to perform its self-healing abilities. You couple that with proper nutrition and the elimination of junk foods, you see, now you're giving the body everything it needs to perform that function. Now, when it comes to things like fibroids and other types of health issues where the body has gotten out of order, you want to look at some things that may also be causing that issue. Dr. Singletary mentioned things regarding hormonals for a moment there, hormonal issues, but at the same time, look at a toxic environment. She mentioned oxidative stress. What could be causing that? For example, what kind of foods can cause oxidative stress in the body? Gluten-filled foods, creating inflammation on the interior lining of the digestive tract. Junk foods that exacerbate that type of effect. Imbalances caused by carbonated beverages like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. What I'm saying is those kind of things create toxicity. They lead to imbalances, and those imbalances can lead to cell dysfunction and organ dysfunction, and could lead to various types of chronic illnesses. Some things that people don't think about that can be a pollutant to their body are the very technological advances that we've had over the past 30 years. The cell phones, the laptops, the Apple Watches, the iPads, all of these devices emit and communicate with satellites, with cell phone towers, with other cell phones by means of a signal. Many people are not aware that that signal transferring from phone to phone, iPad to iPad, wireless laptop to its sources, and are inflammation causing. You talk about oxidative stress, that's a clear source right there. So when a person begins to look to get better, to become healthier, to heal themselves, detoxify. I recommend Kangen water, of course. Proper nutrition, yeah? And then clean up their environment. I would highly recommend anyone dealing with things like fibroids to try to back off of their direct use of these wireless devices. Find workarounds. You can use cell phones that are web-based, like through your laptop or computer, without actually touching the cell phone. Do things where you can touch wireless devices less. With your laptop, while it's wireless, consider using a wireless Bluetooth keyboard that doesn't have the same contact with the direct signal of what the wireless laptop is using to communicate with servers. And less toxicity would come through it, less oxidative stress would come through it. Consider using a Bluetooth keyboard and Bluetooth mouse paired with that. So you're not directly touching the cell phone all the time. Instead of texting all the time, consider the devices that allow you to use audio to text, where you'll speak your message and it texts someone. So all these different things you can do to back off of directly touching a wireless device all the time. They have the newfangled Apple Watches. You could have that watch on and tap it and speak to your phone. Great. No, take that off, because signal's now going to your wrist, into your pulse, into your bloodstream, yeah, coming into your body. So be conscious of every contact you have. And I would say, if you could try to back off of direct touching, find workarounds on your wireless devices for at least 30 to 60 days, you might begin to see a difference in your body and maybe certain, ailments that your body may be suffering with. So Kangen water, detoxification, return
where
to
you
order.
carry them.
Nutrition, getting what you need, for your nutrition intake. Removing yourself from toxic sources, including junk foods and even things like wireless devices, things you weren't thinking about. So just a nice summary so you get something you can remember as a take home. That's Singletary.
Well, I was also saying, be careful where you carry your cell phones, carrying it in your jeans pocket or in a purse that's hanging right near your genital area. I just think we as a society are asking for trouble when we do things like that. Putting them in your
unknowingly.
Your bra.
Unknowingly.
Wow.
Sure. Many of these devices have become part of our everyday use, and in such, we don't know that they could be harmful as well. So we're bringing that to your attention. All the things you might need to keep at bay to keep yourself healthy as you look towards your healing process.
Okay,
and
thank you, Adam.
I would add something, Dr. Yeah, I want to add something to that. If she is drinking Kangen water, the best way to detox with it is at 75% of her body weight in ounces per day. The average person maybe being above 9 stones or so in the UK, or 125 pounds in the United States, you want to drink about 4 liters of water per day. In the morning, 32 ounces or 1 liter before you have breakfast. About 12 noon, another 1 liter or 32 ounces. Mid-afternoon, 3 to 4 p.m., another liter or 32 ounces. And end off around 6 to 7 p.m. in the evening, not too late, with another liter. That consistency throughout the day hydrates your body and causes a flushing of the system consistently every few hours. This will remove toxicity, particularly in an acute situation where there is a health crisis, and keep you at a more detox level so that as your body is healing, it heals in more of a toxic-free state, is able to maintain pH balance, and get the energy level it needs for a proper healing. So just some items to take home on how to drink Kangen water when we're dealing with a health issue. Yeah?
Okay, 216, is that Deb? I'm just curious.
It is.
Hi.
We see someone.
I didn't recognize your number, but I recognized the wow. You said wow.
Yes,
welcome to the call.
I had to get on the cell phone, and I'm so honored to be able to jump in where I could get in. Wow, my electrolytes reduced water family is happy to hear your voice, and the topic is off the chain. Amazing.
That's awesome.
My question that I had is concerning your blood types. Old blood type I heard was gatherer hunters kind of thing where people might need a little meat. And then the A blood type was the planters, people who planted and moved around and gave the ground a rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, gave the ground a rest periodically where like Dr. Lisa, you always say, the plants are not fully loaded with the nutrition that they should have because of our, who's planting them and the soil and the nutrition that they're absorbing. So all of that has been in my mind lately as to how to fine-tune my body and give my brain the brain fat that it needs, give my body the fat that it needs, and not give it too much, not be overweight or underweight and all that kind of carrying on stuff. So my question is, what do you know about that, and what would you recommend? I'm a Kangen pharaoh, queen pharaoh, female pharaoh when it comes to drinking my water. I won't drink anything but Kangen water, and it's just been everything that I've needed it to be in my life thus far. I feel like I'm alive because of Kangen water today, because I stay hydrated, and I even when I go out to dinner or go somewhere and eat something that I'm not sure where it came from or how it goes, I go home and double up on my water. I feel like I'm detoxing it out of me, and that gives me a peace of mind, because sometimes you don't always know the sources, where the food came from, the sources, period. And I'm finding myself struggling with that occasionally because I know I want to eat to live, not live to eat. I want to eat the right things, the right way, and I'm looking for some property now so I can even grow my own personal food.
That's a good strategy these days.
Huh?
Okay, so two things.
Excuse me? Okay.
Two things. Number one, and I'm going to address the second one first. And the second was, this is what it is in my brain, how you can get all of the building blocks you need for your body with whatever diet you choose. So the number one thing that we look at in nutrition is avoiding the bad foods. And there's a list of the 12 bad foods to avoid. There's a video that goes along with them. So no matter what you do, vegan, vegetarian, organic, farm to table, paleo, keto, carnivore, Mediterranean, zone diet, Atkins diet, any diet you choose, you have to avoid the 12 bad foods. Now, there's certain diets when people are avoiding meats. So I'm talking to the vegans, vegetarians, and different types of vegetarians. There are lacto-ovarians. They will, or some people, there are different ways of interpreting vegetarian, but vegan meaning no animal anywhere. Like lacto-ovarians will eat eggs and drink milk, but not the flesh of the animals. And as far as getting all of the nutrients necessary, it's easier and it's more reliable to have a diet that includes meat or protein from animal sources. And that includes lacto-ovarians because they have a complete amino acid profile. And the amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, which are the building blocks of our entire bodies. Without all of the amino acids, we don't have all the enzymes, we don't have all the substance that we need for our bodies to function. However, if you are, and there have been healthy vegetarians for millennia, but there's a trick to it. Number one is hopefully living in a place where all the nutrients are in the soil. But number two is how food is mixed. So, the rice has to be mixed with legumes in order to get the full complement of the essential amino acids. Now, I am a supplementer. My nutritional insurance is making sure that I take plant-based supplements that have complete, I take a keto shake sometimes, or I take a protein shake sometimes, or I happen to like the vegan shake that our company has, but our vegan shake has the full complement of essential amino acids. So, that has taken that headache away from me, whether I want to change my diet up a little bit. I still know that I'm getting all of the 90 essential nutrients that my body needs, all of the macronutrients and all of the micronutrients.
Okay, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
You mentioned keto shake, and that threw my definition of keto off a little bit, because my definition of keto is just fasting. So,
hey, that'll do it.
Keto lifestyle or keto whatever, that means in my mind that you fast so many hours, 16 hours, whatever, you're fasting 8 hours while you sleep, or whatever your time is, you fast during those hours. So a keto shake didn't come out real clear in my mind. But yet, I also thought about when you talked about and taught about the leaky gut. And I can't remember the word properly. It was an L word. Is it lactate, or something?
Lectins.
Not a lactate. It's something that cuts your gut and
Lectins.
causes it to leak. Lectins, yeah. It causes it to leak. And I've been seeing that come up in different foods that are high in lactics. And then I've been seeing people, I work with people from lots of different countries. There's 64 of them here now or more.
Wow.
And they eat differently. They're eating the same stuff, a lot of them, but they eat other stuff with it. So you got some meat eaters, and then you have some vegans, and then you have, all the different type of eaters, but they seem to be eating similar stuff and adding extra things with it. So I'm thinking, is there a way to eat something to make that, what's that word again? Lactose that you just mentioned? Lectins.
Well, this is
to make the lectins balance so that they don't cut your gut if you eat something
your
else.
First question. Well, let me talk about the keto and the intermittent fasting. What you're describing, avoiding food for an extended period of time, eating once a day, or having a fasting window of 12 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours. Some people go up to 23 hours of their fasting window. That's called intermittent fasting.
Okay.
And that will allow the body to enter into into a state of ketosis more quickly than if you're eating multiple meals all day long and not having a long enough time between meals. And that's because of it triggering your insulin and your other gastrointestinal hormones. But keto is just a state of your body switching from burning glucose as its primary energy to burning, you could say, burning fats. You could say the ketone bodies are the byproduct of that metabolism. And the way to get into ketosis or to maintain a state of ketosis is to avoid carbs. So, and there are levels of ketosis, there are levels of carbohydrate avoidance. And we've done a lot of calls about that, as I am your virtual keto coach. So we've talked about that a lot on this call. But yeah, it's more so avoiding the carbs than the time. The time issue is intermittent fasting.
So when you say carbs, are you talking about potatoes and pasta compared to lentil?
I'm talking about all carbohydrates as far as when they accumulate. Now, what you're talking about, starches, they are very high carb containing foods that have very low fiber. But let's say broccoli technically is a carbohydrate, but it's a low density of sugar, a high density of fiber. So, but yes, when we say carbs in the weight loss community, we're talking about the white foods, the pasta, potatoes, bread, those things. Now, you mentioned the blood type diet.
Yeah, the what was it?
And
Oh,
the blood
yeah.
type diet, when I first heard about it, I was like, that's crazy, you know. But when I started reading the books, and I did buy Dr. Peter Diadamo's books about the blood type diet, and I read his research. And if he did his research the way he said it, and he got the results that he said, I had to look more. And the key seemed to be in the lectins. And there's these lectins, some people have the enzymes, and it may be related to their blood types, to process certain lectins, and some people don't have the enzymes, or they'll have the enzymes to process other lectins. So for someone who's type O, beef is like medicine. Broccoli is like medicine. For someone who's type A, they can eat soy, they can drink coffee, they can, they are more, like I said, you said the agrarian types. They don't really need meat, but they still need two things. They still need a full complement of amino acids, and they still need to avoid the 12 bad foods.
Okay.
So in this time that we're looking, as we look at world events that are happening, we might have to adjust our diets based on what's available for our food intake. But the rules will still be the same. Avoid the 12 bad foods and get a full complement of macronutrients that you need.
Yeah, yeah. Dr. Lisa, wow, thank you so much. You said his name was Dr. Peter. How do you spell that last name?
Diadamo. It's D'(ADAMO). Let me double check that.
Yeah. Wow.
But
yeah. All I know is that I was raised probably in my high school, junior or elementary, middle school, to eat one meal a day, with how to eat to live kind of concept, so that you wouldn't be just overloaded. So I grew up that way. And then after I became an adult, I started eating everything. Well, I got married, got pregnant, and when you get pregnant, you start craving stuff. So I was eating everything, all kinds of stuff, and got way out of weight. And then now that I've come back to my right mind, I understand that I want to put food in me that's going to be fuel for me, and not just be eating just because it smells good or tastes good. I want that too, but it's got to have some good nutrition going in it too. So I'm real focused on that right now. And all I know is that every now and then I would go just no meat. And I was working as an interpreter for a blind and deaf gentleman, and he could tell that I wasn't eating meat. He was like, "You need meat." And I kept saying, "What?" I finger spelled to him because he couldn't hear, but he could speak. And then he says, "We're going to the restaurant where you can get some beef, some Chinese beef stuff or something," he said that day. So I drove him to the restaurant. We sat there and ate. And he said, "I can feel your energy when you don't eat meat. You need meat." So that was an amazing experience for me to know that people could notice that I wasn't eating meat. He could notice. And being blind and deaf, I'm sure he was a little more sensitive than a normal person, because he could feel me palm spelling in the palm of his hand. That's how we communicated. So getting back to that, with it coming back again, I'm thinking, okay, I pay attention, Deborah. This is coming back. The universe is bringing this back to you again. Pay attention. And I'm like, what is my blood type? I have to call my doctor and figure that out now. Get on, the medical chart and see what my blood type is. And I know the Indian cultures.
Well, this is the other thing. This is the other thing. Like you said, that's his research, his guidelines, and there's some correlation that seems to hold. But, we don't just, I guess one person's research isn't the end all and be all, because a lot of it depends on do you have all of the minerals and cofactors in your body to handle those foods?
The
And
essentials. Mm-hmm. Is that what
yes,
you mean? The essentials. Yes.
yes.
Okay.
So there's some people, for instance, and this is also true of detoxification. This is, I mean, this is the whole package here. For instance, there's some people I know that were lactose intolerant, say. I mean, extremely lactose intolerant. And they started taking Kangen water, and they started taking the 90 essentials, as well as some of the gut healers. I can't say heal, some of the gut support products, you know, probiotics, etc. And the lactose intolerance went away. So it wasn't an issue of I can't drink dairy or I can't eat or drink dairy. The issue was my body doesn't have everything it needs to process.
Ah, got it.
So.
Yeah, and that was one of the questions, or the way I was trying to ask that question too. You just answered it, because I was wondering, is the body going to crave for what it needs? If you pay attention, you'll have a craving for it. Or
Absolutely.
Should we operate like hunter-gatherers, like the animals? Dr. Hope, Mr. Hope always talk about the way the animals eat and drink. They seem to be eating the same thing all the time. They just go to the same spots and eat the same stuff. And I'm like, oh, I want something different.
Well,
so
you know what? Your microbiome, when it's properly, when it's healthy and properly supported, communicates with your brain to tell you what you need to eat. Right. And then what happens is we have a couple of things. One, we have a very toxic food intake, or edible matter intake, as I call it, that disrupts your microbiome and reduces your immune system, but also disrupts the communication that the microbiome would then be doing if it was healthy, with letting your brain know what to tell you to go get. So very much self-regulating system internally, and very much self-regulating system that interfaces us with our environment. The junk food manufacturers cut in on our healthy processing of food intake by having us eat these junk foods that disrupt our microbiome, and then give us a new social, emotional connection to items that are not really food.
Wow.
So there's a perpetuation of healthy food intake from generation to generation, and particularly from the mid 1900s till now, that was interrupted. So you don't crave what would be healthy. There are certain countries where junk food is not really a thing. They eat food. You know, the children in Jamaica will eat whatever their parents cook. Then they'll play outside and they'll get fruit from the wild mango trees and run up and down. That mango tree fruit is a treat. Well, it's all very organic, bioavailable, highly nutritious. You cut in with Twizzlers and Skittles. Now you take them off of a healthy intake. Now they have a toxic intake, which causes a perpetuation of health issues going forward in life. So your body will tell you what you need when you start at the origin point. Kangen water. Means return to origin. Kangen.
I love it.
So returning to origin. So now that you ask for and request what is actually akin to your livelihood and healthy lifestyle.
Wow. Deb, I'm so glad you made it to the call today. And give me a call if you have any more questions, or you can call us on the call in between. I mean, anyone can call us on the call in between times, as we do make our contact information available, and I will do that in just a sec. I just want to know, Dale had unmuted for just a few minutes, and I just want to give Dale a chance to ask his question, or if, again, you want to call me offline, or if you were that was just a slip of the finger or the thumb. But if you have a question, Dale, you were the only other person I saw with your phone unmuted. Right.
Awesome. Yeah, we are over time. Sure.
So I think Dale's happy. So I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you for thank you for sticking with us. Everyone stayed till the end, Mr. Hope. Which is,
yeah, I noticed.
Sometimes we
thank you for your patience.
Yeah, sometimes we lose people, you know, at various points in the call. But thank you for joining with us and staying with us today. And like I said, you can call us between times. You can, and here I'll go over the numbers for those of you who can't see the screen. So those of you in the United States, you can call or text area code 866-526-4368. That's 866-526-4368. Those of you in the United Arab Emirates, your number is 0800-018-589. Did I do that right, Mr. Hope?
Yes.
Awesome. For anyone that's in the UK, Africa, like generally overseas, we invite you to use our UK line. That's +44. That's the country code 0800-086-9793. So if you're in the UK, 0800-086-9793. Now we're going to be here Saturday, same Kangen time, same Kangen channel. We welcome you all to join us. Bring your friends, bring your prospects, etc. Bring your questions, your comments. And if you want to hear this information one more time, go to YouTube for the replay and search Kangen Water Radio. You will see, I'm going to find a lemon to put somewhere in the snapshot. But if you search Kangen Water Radio, you'll see our playlist just like I showed you. And you'll see all of our video calls as well. In the description box, there's a link to all of our all 435 calls. You have one-click access to those calls. Okay. The websites, USA, Kangen Water Nation, USA.com, UAE, KangenWaterDubai.com, and UK, KangenWaterLondon.co.uk. All righty, Mr. Hope, any final thoughts? Adrian, I love you. Any final thoughts, Mr. Hope?
Thank you all for coming to our call today. Love to see you on Saturday again, to be here with all this healthy information on Kangen water and nutrition. And thank you again, Dr. Lisa Singletary, our resident physician and board certified medical doctor that is providing us all this information that we need to be thorough and the best of all worlds, knowing how the body works and what it needs. Dr. Singletary.
We love you all, everybody. See you Saturday.
Love you. Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
a great rest of the week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.